You are looking live at a daily, nope, excuse me, a monthly chart of the Nasdaq. We closed out April, brutal month here for the index. It was down 4.4%, 722 points. And you can see after a 5-month run, April put the skids on this little rally here. And that's to be expected. You know, we had a big move. And then we gave some back in April. Hopefully, you step on the gas when we have this big rally and then be a little lighter invested during these pullbacks here. But anyway, the month of April is over, so maybe we can start a new rally here in the month of May. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the monthly chart of the Nasdaq. I'm not going to do it for all the other indexes. This is the one I'm mostly interested in. And you can still see it's got this, cup with handle pattern, the breakout, the big rally. And now April gives some back, 721 points or 4%. We did have a 32% rally. If we look at the weekly chart here, this from October to March 21st, we had a 32% rally. So, we've given some back here. We're down, I believe, 6 of the last 7 weeks. Let me do this again here so you can see it a little better. If I focus in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 6 of the past 7 weeks, and now we're down. We were up last week and now down again this week. So, I think just from, if I go to the daily chart from that, reversal on March 8th, that was a big day. And then we've kind of chopped since then. This one here, March 8th, this inverted hammer candle. Don't want to get too tight there, but there it is. Yeah, that reversal candle. And then, a lot of stocks made highs on that day, then pulled back and have just kind of chopped sideways ever since, kind of like the index. The index did make a high of 16,538 on March 21, but you can see it's really sold off since then. So this move here from March 21st, the peak to the trough was a 9% move. So we went up 32%, okay, and then gave 9% back. Now count with me here. We've attempted a rally here, day 1, day 2, day 3, and even though this is a tough day last Thursday, I believe, this is day 4. We had some bad inflation data. And then Friday was day 5, Monday, day 6, today was day 7. And even though it was a rough day, it still didn't undercut the low here. So we're looking for a follow-through day as soon as tomorrow, which would be day 8 of an attempted rally on the Nasdaq. I could go to the, the S&P. It's a similar deal. We're just waiting for a rally. It looks, there's an inverted hammer candle, looks bad, but nowhere near to taking out the lows that it made there on the Friday of the options expiration, Friday the 19th. That was the low for the Nasdaq and the S&P. And you could still see the IWM is still attempting a rally as well. And so is the Dow Jones. So we're just waiting on that. And it could certainly go the other way. It's moved up to its moving averages and got rejected, and now an inverted hammer candle. So, the indexes could, go the other way and take out these lows here. I should go back to the Nasdaq here. I'm going to spend more time on the indexes because there's not a lot to talk about with the stocks today. A lot of them got slaughtered. And a lot of times when the markets sell off like that and really close hard to the downside, they come back the next day. The algos don't have a memory at all. So the next day is a new day. So anyway, with the Nasdaq, you can see it's not close to taking out this low here. It would have to go a long way. Let me get the actual number here. Since we're doing this exercise, 15,022 today, closed at 15,006. So it's got 440 points to go, 445 points to go. So that's a long way down to take out that low. So we're still in rally mode, still looking to, go up more than 1% with a volume above the prior session. You can see today's volume was 1% above the 50-day average daily volume. Anyway, that's enough for the indexes. I trade stocks. Apple, gonna be down after hours, down today. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, why it's down after hours, but just in a downtrend. I mean, they're gonna report earnings on Thursday. I don't think much is expected here. They've had bad news from China and slowing. Their suppliers are saying that, their sales are slowing. So anyway, production's slowing for the iPhone. So anyway, let's move on from Apple. Tesla had a nice 37% move here off the lows and then gave some back today. Yeah, 5.5%, but it's made a nice move off the lows here, above the 50, below the 200. No man's land, no place to be for a stock. Google is one that was acting better, had a nice response from earnings, and now just getting right back to this pivot area, which you don't want to see if you're long Google. Microsoft looks even worse, way below the 50. Yeah, it's just pulling back. They're just consolidating after moves. There's nothing wrong with them. This stuff happens, and pullbacks to moving averages happens, from time to time. So you just gotta have to deal with it. Meta, they had a bad earnings reaction and just kind of, in timeout here. So this is probably going to take a while. But you want to see it hold this low of this day here, which was 414. It does have a gap to fill here at 450, but we'll see. $400.50. And the last one is NVDA, of these mega cap tech stocks. And this one's above its 50, just pulled back a little bit. It's flat after hours. It was, down 1.5% today, while the index was down 2 something percent. So, or even 3%, right? Wait a minute. Marty, stop it. 2.04%. Okay. So when the Nasdaq's down 2%, you can expect your growth stocks to be down 4 to 6%. And when it's down on the month 4.4%, you can expect your growth stocks to be down 10 to 15%. No more than 15%, though. If it's 15% off the high, you better start checking your stocks. All right, let's take a look at some of the bloody stocks today. ELF, the retail names got really hammered. This thing is sold off with the Ulta Beauty guide down, and it's just forming a base, getting rejected at moving averages. Looks pretty bad, down 5% today. Well, the index is down 2, so that's about normal. This is Ulta Beauty with the guide down, just can't get out of its own way below its 200. This looks horrific. 11% below the 200, 18% below the downtrending 50. That looks bad. Lulu is another retail name. So I'm going to take you down the negative road and bring you back on the positive track here. It's not all negative. Lulu made a low and tried to rally up. Now it rallied up to its 21 EMA here and got rejected. So that's something to watch there. It's above the 10 and below the 21. And they're going to report the end of May. So anyway, that's it for the retail. It was pretty nasty out there, but not as bad as the crypto names. The digital currency markets got slammed today. MicroStrategy with an earnings report, if you want to call it that, but it was down 18%. Just all of the Bitcoin and digital currency related stocks got hammered today. This was down 10%. Like I say, with this stock, you want to own it when it's doing that. You don't want to own it when it's doing that. You want to own it when it's doing that. You don't want to own it when it's doing that. And when it goes up, yes, I want it. When it does this, stay away. It's a kryptonite for your portfolio. So we're going to stay away from this stuff. It's looking bad. This is RIOT, another one of these. They're all of the Bitcoin related stocks were just getting hammered. This was Mara down 11%. So anyway, I'm going to move on to greener pastures. Literally, this is Lending Tree up nearly 30% with that volume. So that's a move you do not want to ignore. That is a breakout from a base. Let's take a look at the weekly. And this, you can see the earnings line heading due north. You can see this consolidation pattern out of this stage 1 base. That looks fantastic. The RS line heading due north as it goes through its moving averages. So, when the Nasdaq's down, the indexes are down as much as they are, and your stock's up 30%. Yeah, your relative strength is off the charts there. So congrats to the longs at Lending Tree, which is a finance, and this is a PayPal finance credit card payment stock, looks like it was going to break out today. And then, with the overall, general market weakness, you could see it just kind of, here's your gap up and then whoop, nope, okey doke, we're not going anywhere today. So still, I mean, with the index doing what it did today, and this one was up, 1.4%, that's a good day. And you can see the relative strength line trending higher due to that. I'm going to just go to Square. I don't know. Square's part of this little, down 3%. No bueno. All right, let's move on. I got to get to the drug stocks. Eli Lilly reported, and you know what? If I'm going to go down in this market, I'm going to go down with NVDA and Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, and I'm not going to mess around with the Rambus and the TGTX or the AQST, these speculative biotech names. The weight loss cohort today, I mean, flexed its muscles. Eli had a strong report. You could see 26% sales growth, 59%. You can see the accelerating earnings growth here. Very nice for Eli Lilly. This is turning into a weight loss story. Yeah, their Jardiance drug did well, but the Mounjaro and Zepbound, this is carrying this thing going forward. So Eli Lilly looks really strong, up 6%, $44 with that kind of volume. And Novo reports on Thursday, and this one's just consolidating in a base. They're just biding its time. I believe they're going to report a stronger quarter than Lilly. I read a report today from the FDA saying that the Wegovy and Ozempic supplies are no longer constrained. And I don't know if it was up on the pen action from Lilly or it was due to that FDA report, or a combination of both. But the CEO said that they want to have enough medication or medicine for the people who are already on it, so they don't have to cut off their supply. So he said they had plenty of supplies. I don't know about new clients, but they're selling everything they can make, and they have a more focused catalog on weight loss than Lilly does. Lilly has a broader portfolio. And if you would indulge me here for a minute, this is a market cap of, I don't know if that's correct, 441 billion, and they have the same sales as Eli Lilly, and Eli Lilly has a market cap of 742. So you're looking at 300 billion more market cap with the same sales. And I know the deal is that Novo Nordisk is an ADR, and it's that funds in Denmark can only own like 10%, and Lilly is owned way more in the U.S. These are the IBD mutual funds, growth fund managers, which have enjoyed strong success over the years, and obviously they like Lilly, and you can see it's got over 5,000 funds there, whereas Novo is an ADR from Denmark. It only has one of these IBD funds. It hardly has any shares in it. It only has 535 funds. So to me, that it has a long way to go, I think, anyway. And since I'm doing this exercise, I wanted to share with Microsoft. People say that NVIDIA is over-owned, it can't go up anymore, everybody wants to own it, owns it. It's not true. You can see here that Microsoft has 10,228 funds owning it. And it's I wouldn't say it's over-owned, but it's owned, right? I mean, all they can do is buy more. I don't know how many more mutual funds can buy this thing, right? And if you take a look at NVIDIA, remember that number, 10,002, and NVIDIA has 7,002. So Microsoft has 3,000 more funds out there that own it. And so NVIDIA, to me, is still under-owned. And people think that, it still has a lot to prove too. And anyway, I digress. Sorry about that. I'm going to go back to the weight loss. It's just been that kind of a day, right? The weight loss cohort was very strong due to the Lilly report. And this technically, you could just say that this is breaking above a downtrend line here. This looks very strong to me. And it was the first pullback to the 50 since the breakout. You know how I feel about that. And it's moving higher. It's up 5% today, while the the rest of the market just absolutely gagged, spit the bit. Anyway, this is a nice flagging pattern here. You know, Lilly gained what, 40 billion in market cap today. This right here is a 8 billion. Pfizer could jump on this for 20 billion and get in the game, but I don't know. Somebody's going to buy this, I think. I don't think they're going to go it alone or get with a partner. I think somebody's going to snap this up the way we see these numbers coming in, and we're just going to wait for Novo on Thursday. And anyway, I'm going to move off the drug stocks and go to the the HVAC. These are data center plays, and this is Train Technologies. And this one was moving higher. It was up 5.5% as it is, with the indexes really tanking. But you could see this one looks like it was really going to move today, and then not so fast. It had to pull back with the general market weakness. But you know, maybe tomorrow or later this week, Train with a nice quarterly report. So what I look for when I see something like that is some pin action from the group. And we had Carrier. This one broke out earlier in the week. What, yesterday was Monday? Okay. And it was looked like this one was going to move higher too. And then it pulled back. You see it gapped higher in the first, I don't know, half hour. It looked okay today. And then all of a sudden, yeah, that's 50 minutes in. So about an hour in, we started seeing some selling. They're going ex-dividend here tomorrow, I believe, or Thursday. Fix is another one in the group. You know, want to see some pin action here, but not so fast, not getting it here. And then Modine, this is, you know, they have earnings coming up though at the 22nd. So just to pull back to the 50 for the first time, rallied back through, and now it's kind of stalled here. You know, with the general market weakness, you can't really expect your stocks to be blasting higher because there's just general selling going on. Anyway, that's it for the HVAC group. I wanted to get to the software names because I am intrigued with some of these software names. This is Datadog. Undercut the 50, rallied above it, undercut it again, rallied above it, now pulled back to the 50 today, and it's up after hours. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I still like this stock. I like it above the 50. I don't like it below it, but I don't want to be that technical about it. I think they're going to report strong earnings next week. And you know, if you own it from a lower price, it looks fine to me. But it's just, you know, a tough market right now with the indexes, you know, digesting their gains. Elastic, this one is just forming a base here to me. It ran up to the 50 and got rejected, now pulled back to its 10 and 21, which are kind of converging here. Yeah, they're pretty close to each other, 101. So definitely something to watch there with the STC. And then Spotify, another name that I like, you know, had this move with earnings higher and now has pulled back to the 50, got support there, and just, you know, can't get out of its own way with the, you know, the index is doing what they're doing, 12% off of its high. So that's something to watch there. You don't want them going more than 15%, you know, below their highs. Anyway, that's it for the software names. Some of the retail restaurant names. This is a Brinker International, and you know, an 8% move in this market. You can see that RS line going due north. So congrats to the longs there. There it is on the weekly. Brinker International looks fantastic. SHAK SHAK pulled back to the 50 for the first time since the gap higher. It found support, ran above it. Now, you know, still looks pretty good. Showing strength in a weak tape, which is what you want to see. Domino's reported yesterday morning, had a nice report, and then tacked on modest gains today, but still showing strength in a weak tape. You got to recognize that with these restaurant stocks. Texas Roadhouse, they're going to report Thursday. Just trying to pull out of this base here. That one still looks actionable to me, but I'm not going to put it on because of the earnings. What it's seeing, this one's been going up every day and actually pull back today. So anyway, let me see. That's it for me. You know, it's kind of a bummer day, obviously, with the indexes selling off so much. It's the last day of the month, though, and tomorrow's a new day. May Day, May Day. Maybe we'll get some buyers coming in tomorrow. But like I said, that's it for me, except for I lied. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, one more thing. I have to go through some of the reports after hours. I didn't get a chance to really dive into them, but on the surface, Amazon looked really strong with their AWS sales. And this is a partner of Datadog. So something to watch for tomorrow. One thing that I noticed with good earnings reports, these things didn't do much. So there's still kind of a negative overtones, even in after hours. Amazon sliced its 50 today. Let's see it rally back through the 180 tomorrow. I just think the after hours reactions kind of muted due to how negative the market was today. AMD reported pretty strong quarter. They look good for the second half, but this thing's selling off like 5%. So, like I said, it's pretty negative after hours here. Even with good reports, this is a super micro. They reported a really strong quarter and guidance. They missed on revenues, but they guided higher. And I don't know what they said on the conference call, but this thing's selling off what 67, what 7-8%. I don't know what they said on the conference call, but they did raise forward guidance to what 15 billion. And I don't know, their earnings are, something ridiculous, $30 in earnings, but selling off after hours. Anyway, Pinterest reported and they had a positive response, up nearly 20%. So since Elliott Management's taken an interest in this company, it's done a lot better. And this thing looks to get over 40 tomorrow. SWKS, this is one of the suppliers to Apple. They reported today, and you can see it was not a good report. They missed, and it's down nearly 10%. And the last one, oh, Starbucks. I guess people stopped drinking coffee. It must be getting rough out there. People can't afford their Starbucks. You can see this is clearly in a downtrend, though. So that's what happens with stocks and downtrends. They tend to go lower. Oh, down 10%. Ooh, boy. So that's pretty rough on the Starbucks longs. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, that's not looking too good. Their earnings line is going up. I don't know. I have to look more into their earnings here. But anyway, that's it for me. I'll have more in the morning. You just got to hang in there and, don't get too heavy in this market. We made buku bucks going this way, and now you don't want to give them back doing this. That's the whole trick to the market, is you step on the gas and make a ton of dough, here, and then you don't give it back when you're flopping and chopping around here all sideways. Yeah, you go light, and that's the trick to the market. You don't make it in a linear. I know people want to make it weekly and monthly, and it doesn't work that way. You make a bunch in a short period of time, and then you kind of hang out and go fishing or go golfing or go hiking or go swimming, and you don't, dive deep into the waters here when it's doing this, because we don't know when this digestion is going to end and we're going to have another power trend like this. So anyway, we took advantage of this special time, and now we're just, on yellow. We're cautious, still invested in some stocks, like I said, if you're going to go down with the ship, you're going to go down with NVIDIA and Eli Lilly, and not something like these speculative names like this AQST, or just some of these speculative names that are TGTX. Even though they have a good drug, these things are getting hammered in a clear downtrend. Yes, you want to stick with the large liquid names when the market's doing this. NVIDIA, yeah, it's not doing great, but it's hanging in there. You'd rather own it than something like a Rambus from this same group. Okay, buy the leaders, I guess is what I'm saying. Own the leaders. Just don't get too heavy, so you can sleep at night. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a pretty limited ready list. It looks like the stocks that are on the ready list are dwindling. Anyway, like I said, that's it for me. I'll have more in the morning. We never give up. Hang in there.